Good morning to everyone. In today's session, we will be looking at what is a convolutional neural network from beginners to practical application in Python. Effectively, what is CNN, convolutional neural network, which is a special type of neural network focused on working with the visual data in the sense images and videos and etc. And they are pretty much similar to the typical neural network architecture, and they have same neurons, and the layers are connected from one layer to another layer. The neurons are connected between the layers available in the neural network. It also follows the same general principle of forward and back propagation, and effectively it also okay. Okay. Let's first understand some example CNN architecture that will help us understand the CNN better. In the screen that you look at um, is an example of a VGG16 CNN architecture. Now, before we get into understanding what is CNN, this will help us give a perspective of what are the different features available in the CNN architecture. So this, assuming that I have an image and I want to understand, process this particular image, and the whole setup is considered to be a CNN layer. So this constitute of four different items as detailed here. So the first one is a convolution, which is called convolution plus ReLU as a layer, and then a max pooling is done. I understand that we have not introduced any of this, but this is just to give you what are all the different terms that we should focus on, that we will detail what are all these terms and how these terms are all going to help us build this similar architecture. Um, Convolution, max pooling, and a um, fully connected layer, and the last one is basically the softmax, the classification layer, where this is VGG basically takes 1000 class classification. So using this VGG network, out of this 1000 different type of images available, it can actually identify what is this particular image is all about. So this is an example, and there are a couple of more information that we need to understand. So what is this 224 bar 224 bar 3? So specific to this image, if you look at this represents the image's size is 224 bar 224, and the 3 represents the number of channels this particular image goes through, and the channel meaning that each images might have colored image will have 3 channels RGB, and that is what is being represented here in the 3. And but in the case of convolution, if you look at the similar same 224 bar 224 bar 64 is being mentioned. The 64 represents the number of features that it is trying to extract from the images as such. As we progress, the number of features gets increased, but corresponding convolution details getting decreased, and so on and so forth. And towards the end, we are flattening the whole convolution to get a fully connected network with 4096 features. From the 4096 features that we are getting towards here, we are going to identify one of the final output here. And some of before we start understanding the details, let's introduce some of the things called what is convolution, what is pooling, and what is feature map.